Okay, that is so much better. Okay. We are cooking with grease now. Hey everybody, it's Gwen here with Real Hair Revelations for tonight. I'm gonna wait till several of you get into the live before we get started. I have a really cool topic tonight. It's a topic that a lot of you are questioning, and I am sharing with you my dope deal of the day. This deal is only available if you are watching live, and if you use it live. You have to obviously be watching live in order to get this deal. If you're watching on replay, unfortunately, sorry y'all, you will not be able to get it because you have to be watching live in order to get it. Hey Ebony, hey Danita, hey Tawana, hey Erica, what's up everybody? I see y'all are coming in, y'all are coming fast, so let's keep it going. I'm so excited to share with y'all my dope deal for the day. Hey Vakia, hey, what's up winner? How are you, ma'am? So yeah, we're gonna get started in just a moment. How's everybody doing? If you're an OG, do me a favor and put OG in the comments. If you are a newbie, shout me out, say what's up. If you are watching on replay, say hey. Hope you guys are having a really great day. It is cold, it's all get out in Michigan. I swear, just yesterday, it was like 80 degrees, and today I literally needed my winter coat. It was absolutely nuts. Hey Jewel, hey Adina. What's up, everybody? Hey, Dorothy. How are you this evening, ma'am? How are you guys? What's happening? So, look, I'm going to turn the light off a little bit so you all can see my hair, because it's actually, you can see the texture better when the light is down. But look, I am just really loving, this is like almost an 8-day-old braid out that is still doing its thing. So, I'm pretty happy about that. It's harder to see it, I guess, this background when the light is bright, but I gotta have a light break because you won't be able to see me. Hey, Vakia. Hey, Margie. What's up, Loretta? Hey, Tammy. Welcome. Welcome, newbie. I'm so glad that you were able to join us live for the first time. Hey, Tara. Is it Tara or Tara? I have multiple friends who's with T-A-R-A as their name. And some pronounce it Tara, some pronounce it Tara, and they do not like when you mispronounce their name. So I'm not going to pretend like I know which one you are. So let me know so I can get it right the next time. I think I got everybody. Hey, Glenda. Thanks, Ebony. Thanks. Hey, Retho. What's up, Pamela? All right. Thanks, E. Thanks, Ava. And Eva, I am so proud of you. I saw your post about how you started, and then now how you started, and you were so confused about your curls, and you didn't really know where to start, and you were just frustrated, and now you've been using Naturalicious and joining us in the group and getting education from myself and the rest of the beautiful women in the group, and you are just rocking and rolling, and your curls are popping, and you are just feeling yourself and feeling your beauty, and that makes me so happy. So kudos to you for your transformation. All right. I think I got everybody, almost everybody. Hey, Selena, what's up, Brandy? Hey, Deidre, hey, Lee. Thanks, Eve, I appreciate that. Tara, okay, I got you. Tara like car. Hey, Florency, Cynthia, Deidre. Thanks, Jewel, Gloria. Thank you, Danita, appreciate that. All right, let's get started. I'm going to tell you, the dope deal for tonight is, if you go to our website, which is naturalicious.net, make a purchase of anything for $60 or more, you will receive not only free shipping, but you will also get a free t-shirt towel. You do not have to do anything special. There is no code. Nothing is needed. You just buy anything, $60 or more, any one product, any combination of products, whatever you want under the sun, put it in your cart. You will get free shipping, and you're going to get a free t-shirt towel. Now, when you add it to your cart, do me a favor and make sure that you give it a chance to load. It will load in your cart automatically, but you have to give it a chance, okay? So don't be too hasty, but this deal is only available while I'm live. So you may wanna, go over to your desktop or your other phone, or your tablet, or borrow Bay's phone, or your kid's phone, or whatever, and go get that deal, because it's not going to be available after I get off the live. So again, you will get free shipping and a free t-shirt towel, which is valued at $29, right? So basically you get almost $30 for free if you buy anything for $60 or more while I'm live. So go do that right now. Danita will post all of that in the comments, so you guys can just click the link and go. Again, you don't need a code for this. This is going to happen automatically. Just give it a chance to load in your cart before you move on. Okay? All right. Let's get started. Okay, so tonight we're talking about grays. Those of you who are dealing with your grays, some of you have a little bit of gray, like myself. You got a couple strands here in the front, you know, or throughout. Some of you have long strands all over, and some of you are completely gray. And you are challenged because we know that gray hair has a mind all its own, right? It does not tend to perform the same way that your non-gray hair did or does. And it seems like if you are partially gray and then partially not gray, you may be trying to figure out like, well, what am I supposed to do for this hair in between? I don't know if I need to do different stuff. Do I need different products for the gray versus products for the other stuff? I'm not really sure. All right. And I'm going to solve that for you. For those of you who are fully gray, it will actually be a little bit easier for you because you're only dealing with pretty much one hair texture. So you don't have to try and manage two different things. But at the end of the day, the process of what you should be doing is going to pretty much be the same for all of us. It will just be a little less challenging for those of you who are already my full grown and full on silver sisters. Okay, again, don't forget about the deal tonight. If you are just joining, it is, and Danita will post this as we go along, so I won't keep saying it and interrupting the topic here. But the deal is, buy anything for $60 or more, you'll get free shipping and you'll get a free t-shirt towel in on Naturalicious.net. So make sure you go to Naturalicious.net to get your deal. Okay, all right. These grays, what to do about them? All right, first of all, grays tend to be more wiry than non-gray hair, right? So, and it also tends to fly away and just not do what you want it to do all the time. So what are you going to do to manage those grays? First of all, I really, 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 really need you, especially if you are in that kind of transitioning from non-gray to gray hair, as all of us eventually will, right? I really need you guys to focus on your deep conditioning and your hot oil treatments. Doing that will help to tame those grays and make them much more manageable for you. It will also help to make them less wiry. So when they're wiry, it seems like they're very, they can be very disrespectful, right? You have your hair parted over here, it want to go over here and all that sort of stuff. It makes it a lot more manageable and a lot more easier to deal with. I'm not really appreciating this light right now. Hope you guys can see it. Okay, anyway, it makes it a lot easier for you guys to deal with your gray when you are doing deep conditioning and hot oil treatments, because it kind of manages and molds those strands of hair so that you are able to do what you want to do with it. How do you do your deep conditioning? Okay, if you are using Naturalicious, absolutely make sure you're using step 1 as your deep conditioner. It is not only a shampoo and a conditioner and all that other stuff and a detangler, but it's also a deep conditioner. So you can put it back onto your hair after you've washed it. Put it over your hair. And what this is the trick, right? Most people, when they deep condition, they only deep condition. They take the product, any product, whether it's our product or some other product, they take it and they just slather it on their hair. But that means that you're only getting the perimeter of your hair. You're not able to get up in the roots and all that stuff unless you part your hair and actually put the product on there. So here's what I want you to do. Again, you can use this with Naturalicious step 1. You can use it with your own other deep conditioner if you're using it. But obviously, I'm going to recommend the step 1, right? You're going to take your hair, part it as if your mama used to part it when you were a kid and she was trying to grease your scalp, okay? So you're going to take your hair and you're going to literally part it down like so, okay? Gonna part your hair like this, okay? And then you're gonna take the product and you're gonna put it on your roots, not necessarily your scalp, but you're gonna put it on your roots. Put it on your roots and then work it gently all the way to your ends, okay? I want you to do the same thing with your oil. So after you put on step 1 or your deep conditioner, you're going to put that on your hair, slather it all the way down, and then you're going to heat up Step 3, if you're using Naturalicious or whatever your hot oil treatment is, and then you're going to put that on top of the deep conditioner. So you'll be doing a deep conditioning and a hot oil treatment at the exact same time, okay? This is going to make your hair super soft, and it's going to save you a hell of a lot of time because you don't have to do 2 different steps, okay? So you're going to put this on your hair. Then you're going to move on to the next section, and you're going to part again, okay? So you're going to part. All right. Part your hair all the way down. And you're going to do the same thing. All right, so you're going to take that, and you got to make sure you're getting those roots because, again, especially where that hair is wiry, it's wiry from the root on. And the root is kind of the base for how it's going to act. So you really want to soften that area. So you're going to put the product, again, step 1, right on your edge, oh, not your edges, I'm sorry, right on your roots, and then work your way down to the ends. Be gentle with your hair, of course. Then you're going to go ahead and put on step 3, put that on all the way down, and then you're going to do that whole process all over your head, okay? Once you do that, you're then going to take a plastic shower cap or a plastic bag or whatever you have that's plastic, put it over your head and chill out for about an hour, maybe 30 minutes if you're you know, rushing, excuse me. But if you have a full hour, let it marinate for about an hour. Some people are going to ask, can I do it overnight? Absolutely, you can do it overnight. If you're using our product, Naturalicious, if you're using another product, I would definitely make sure that you check the directions. If it, you know, and make sure it doesn't say you can only leave it on for a certain amount of time or what have you. If it doesn't give you a certain amount of time, you should be okay to use it overnight. Sometimes I do deep condition overnight and it's amazing, but usually I do it for like an hour or so. Okay, so you're gonna put the shower cap on your head, chill out for about an hour or whatever amount of time that you have. You don't need to use a heat cap unless you want to, or a hooded dryer unless you want to. If you have access to those things, fantastic, you can use them, but you do not necessarily need them. If you do have access for those, if you do have access to those things, you can go ahead and you can shorten your time in half. So if you were normally going to do it for an hour, you would then just do it for 30 minutes if you have the hooded dryer and the heat cap. Now, again, you don't necessarily need those things because our skin and our heads always emit heat naturally, okay? So your head is always going to emit heat, and when that heat is trapped in the plastic cap, it's going to heat up anyway. So again, that's why you don't really need those things, but if you do have those things, they will expedite the process for you, all right? All right, so you're gonna hang out for about an hour. After that's done, you're gonna take it off, and you are then going to rinse it out. I would love it if you guys would do that every time you wash your hair. I do it personally every time I wash my hair. And I didn't mention this, but when you are doing that process of putting the products on your hair, make sure you get those edges and make sure you get the nape of the back in the kitchen, okay? We really want those edges to be soft, and we want that nape of the neck to be soft as well, okay? So that's what you're going to do every time you wash your hair. It shouldn't be a burden, especially if you wash your hair at night and you sleep overnight with it. It shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, that's the biggest first thing. The second thing I want you to do, if you are managing your grays, I really want you to wear a silk scarf to bed, or a bonnet if you want to wear a bonnet. And if you can, also a silk or satin pillowcase. The reason for this is that silk and satin are moisture retaining fabrics, whereas cotton, polyester, and other such fabrics are moisture leeches. They're going to suck the moisture out of your hair. If your hair is already naturally dry, and now you've got the wiriness and the unruliness from the grays as well, you just have a combination of things that's working against you. So the silk and satin materials will help to retain that moisture. The reason that your hair is so wiry is because it's actually, the actual strand is quite a bit thicker, and it's also a bit drier. So you've got to kind of like lessen the thickness without thinning it out and add more moisture to it. So this is what we're doing here. The nice thing about the satin scarf that I find is that if you have like a braid out or twist out, or any sort of style where your curls are defined a bit, and you sleep with that scarf, it kind of just mushes the curls down overnight, and when you take it off, you can just shake it out and you can go. And that's what I've been doing. That's why my hair is like this after like 8 days, because that's what I do. And I also sleep on a satin pillowcase. If you are someone who sleeps a little bit wild, like myself, right? You want to definitely make sure that you have a satin pillowcase, because my scarf always comes off at night. I don't know, no matter how tight I tie it, nothing works. I always have to make sure that I am, I always have to make sure that I have that satin pillowcase, because my edges will then be exposed to the fabric of the pillow I'm sleeping on. So if you are like me and your scarf or your bonnet comes off at night, or even slides back a little bit, you don't want your edges or any part of your hair exposed to those fabrics that are going to suck the moisture out of your hair when you're working so hard to retain it. Okay. Elisa asked, would you need a protein treatment too, Gwen Jameer? Protein treatments are great. I suggest them about once a month, no more than that. Any more than that can result in what we call protein overload. And protein overload is essentially, think of it like a twig, right? When the twig it can snap, right? It's so stiff that any little movement on it can snap it. That's what, you don't want that, because that's what your hair will end up being if you use protein too much. It will make your hair like a twig. But protein once a month is perfect. You can absolutely use, let's see, you can use, I go to a salon, I get my protein treatment there, but you can use an egg, which is what I suggest for people at home. Do not use the white of the egg. You want to make sure you use the yolk of the egg. The yolk of the egg actually adds moisture to your hair, whereas the white of the egg removes moisture from your hair. So you only want to use the egg, all right? And you want to take the egg, beat it up. You can use as many or as little or as few eggs as you want to. Beat it up real good. Put it on your hair. Make sure that you put a plastic shower cap on, because that egg will dry in your hair if you don't have some sort of plastic on it. And then rinse it out. Now, when you rinse it out, you got to make sure you use cold water, because you will cook the egg on your head. No lie, it happened to me. You have to make sure that you use cold water, because you'll be walking around with little egg pieces in your hair smelling like Waffle House, okay? So you don't want that. Apple G is fine to use, Shaban. I don't have a problem with Apple G. Last time I checked, their ingredients are pretty okay. I haven't checked recently unless they've changed their ingredients, but last time I looked, which was probably like a year ago, they were cool to use, so I would suggest them as well. Again, I personally go to a salon to get my protein treatments. I go to Paralee Boyd here in Detroit, which is a salon, and I get that done there. So any way you want to do a protein treatment should be fine, as long as you don't do it too often. Again, too often can be detrimental, all right? So again, to recap really quickly, one, oh, you guys, don't forget about the deal that's going on while I'm live. If you missed what I said in the beginning, basically the dope deal that's happening right now only while I'm live is that if you purchase any combination or any product on our website for $60 or more, place an order for $60 or more, you will get not only free shipping, but you will also get a free t-shirt towel. Give it a chance to load in your cart before you move on, and it will automatically add to your cart, and we will ship it out to you for free. That's only available while I am live, so don't miss it. All right, so go do that while I am live. Siobhan says she only does her protein treatments every 6 weeks. That's great. Every 6 weeks is fantastic, right? So you don't want to do it any more than once a month, but every 6 weeks is good. Good job. Proud of you. Okay, so to recap about the hair. Let's see, Elisa says, when do you actually use it let me go back. When do you actually use it when doing the deep treatment? Sorry, I wasn't clear when. Are you talking about the protein treatment? You're going to do, okay, so you only do any kind of treatment, whether it's the protein treatment, whether it's this deep conditioning treatment that we're talking about, you only do this on clean hair. Do nothing, do no kind of treatments. Nothing should be done on dirty hair, okay? I know some people will say, oh, you can do apple cider vinegar rinses on dirty hair, blah, blah. That's bull, okay? Do it on clean hair. Wash your hair first, then you can move on and do your, deep conditioning, and then you would then do your protein treatment. So I hope that answers your question, Elisa. Deep conditioning, hot oil treatment first, and then protein treatment, okay? All right. Okay, Siobhan says perfect. Okay, great. All right, so let's kind of recap where we are for those of you who are just joining. If you are starting to have grays in your hair, or if you are fully gray and you're trying to figure out how to manage that, you have to make sure that you are deep conditioning and hot oil treating, which I already explained. If you missed it, go check the replay. And also, you want to make sure you're wearing a silk or satin scarf at night. And also, if you are someone whose bonnet or scarf slips while you are while you're sleeping, like myself, you want to make sure you have a silk or satin pillowcase as well. Silk is better than satin, but silk is kind of hard to find for a reasonable price, especially silk pillowcases. So definitely satin is a perfect alternative. But if you do not, absolutely use cotton or polyester pillowcases. I even have my son, who's 7 years old. He takes his satin pillowcase with him everywhere. Like, if he climbs into the bed with us in the middle of the night, he brings his pillow from his bed and puts it, he brings it with him because he knows silk and satin pillowcases are the way to go. All right. So even little 7-year-old boys with short haircuts, they know what to do. All right. So moving on. I also want you to make sure that you are moisturizing your hair every day. All right. Every day. And Danita, if you can do me a favor and repost the dope deal in case anybody missed it, I would love it so much. I know you've been posting it, but post it again for me, doll. Please. Thank you. All right. And for those of you who are just joining, Danita is here as our scribe. She is basically posting everything that I'm saying. So in case you missed it, you will be able to kind of catch up where we are. All right. Okay. I need you to make sure that you are we already talked about deep conditioning. I need you to make sure that you are moisturizing your hair. And I don't just mean taking some product like step 2 in our line and just kind of smoothing it on your hair. Like, I really need you to go in on the moisture, okay? Some people are going to say moisturizing every day is too much, but listen, honestly, make it part of your routine, okay? It shouldn't really be too much. Now, if you are wearing your silk or satin bonnet or scarf to bed, you shouldn't need to moisturize as deeply every day. But on the first day, thank you, Michelle, you're so sweet. The first day after you washed your hair, after you've done your deep conditioning and hot oil treatment, and if you've chosen to do your protein treatment, I need you to really go in with the moisture, okay? The best time to moisturize your hair is when it's damp. The perfect time to moisturize your hair is right after you've washed it and you've done all your treatments, and then you wrapped it up in a t-shirt towel, and it's soaked up some of the moisture, but your hair's still damp, slightly damp. So if you're using our t-shirt towel, the towel is going to soak up about 85% of the water, right? It's also going to help clump your curls really nicely and all that kind of stuff, right? That's the best time right after that, because your hair is still damp, but it's not dry. And if you guys have been following me, you know that water is what you need in your life. Like, the best time for our hair is when it is highly moisturized, and water is the most moisturizing thing you can put on your hair. So that is why it's so important to moisturize your hair right after you wash. So important to moisturize it when your hair is still damp, because that great moisture that you're using is going to get into your hair, and it's going to be retained because your hair is still damp. Okay. Hey Kim. I thought, okay, Tiffany said, I would love if you sold pillowcases. Tiffany, you speak my language, sweetheart. We are actually working on offering pillowcases really soon, so stay tuned for that. We don't have them yet, but we will have them. And I wasn't even gonna say nothing, but you mentioned it, so I mentioned it too. So we will have pillowcases very soon. That is in the plans, yes. Okay, so when you moisturize, I want you to section your hair, all right? Take a section of your hair, just like we talked about when you were doing deep conditioning. That's what's up, Renita. Tell hubby I said what's up. Thanks, hubby. You want to section your hair, okay? And you're going to move all this. And you're going to moisturize your hair. Again, you're going to moisturize at that root all the way down to the end. So you're going to section it just like we talked about before, okay? Part your hair like your mama was greasing it when you were sitting between her laps when you was a little girl. Put it on your scalp and then work it through to the ends. Part your hair again, okay? Part your hair. Put it on directly on your roots, because we want those roots soft, right? Put it on your roots. Work it down to the ends of the hair. Do the same thing all over your head and then proceed to style your hair however you choose. You're going to do that on day 1 of wash day. Okay, let your hair air dry. You can blow dry it without a comb attachment if you want to. You can braid it up. You can do whatever it is that you choose to do to your hair, but make sure you do that moisture process first. Do it all over your head. You don't need to do that every day. You do need to do it on day 1. Day 2, so let's say you do it on day 1, make sure you get those edges too, because you want those edges to be soft. And that kitchen, gotta have that kitchen, right? Sorry. Okay. Want that kitchen to be soft, want those edges to be soft. And you want those curls to pop, okay? Not only is this going to help to soften your grays, it's going to make the rest of your hair just retain moisture better. It's going to make your curls more defined. If you do this consistently, you will find that you have less just kind of like frizziness happening all the time, okay? And grays, because they're so unruly and so wiry, they tend to be a lot more frizzy. So you're going to like that. All right. After day 1, you're gonna, when you go to bed, you're going to put on your satin pillowcase. Please don't put a satin pillowcase on your head, y'all. You're gonna put on your satin bonnet or your satin scarf. Sleep on your satin pillowcase or silk if you have that, okay? When you wake up in the morning, and I suggest actually putting your hair up into like what they call a pineapple, like literally like a high ponytail, putting the scarf on, sleeping on it. When you get up in the morning, you should be able to just fluff your hair out like this, right? It should be able to shake it out and go. Again, I've been wearing the same thing, doing the same process for about 7 or 8 days now. And my hair, again, you can see how defined it still is, okay? All right, so that's what you're gonna do. Day 2, when you go to bed, I want you to use the open palm method. You're gonna take step 2, all right? Take step 2, take some product out, and you're going to put it on your hands, like so, okay? And you're going to literally graze your hair on the ends like this. You don't need to do the whole parting your hair process again, but you're going to graze your ends, okay? Just like that. Put it back up in the scarf. I'm sorry, take it down. Everything will penetrate into your hair, and you'll be good to go. Yes, I literally just moisturized my hair live on camera. I'm gonna have to do it when I go to bed anyway, so I'm done for the day. But basically that's what you do. And I didn't do it fully, but that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna use the open palm method. The reason you're gonna use the open palm method is because if you start pulling on your hair, you're going to disrupt the curls. And if we don't want the curls disrupted, right? We want the curls to be there. We want them to be big. We want them to be fluffy, all that sort of stuff. So if you start pulling on your hair, you're not gonna have curls that day. Right? You want to use the open palm method so that your curls stay intact, but you're moisturizing those ends. Because the ends is where breakage occurs. And when that hair is wiry, that is where that frizz starts to happen. So think about like a braid out or a twist out or just your hair in general. When your hair is, the look of your hair really lies in your ends and in your roots, right? Everything else is kind of like filler. So if you have like a great twist out, a great braid or a great wash and go, but your ends are raggedy, your whole head looks raggedy. Am I right or am I right? Right? So you have to make sure that you are moisturizing those ends. I want you to do that every day. Every day, every day, every day. If you skip a day here or there, I'll forgive you. But don't skip too many days because you're going to be back to the wiriness. The trick with gray hair is to, and with really any of our hair that's naturally dry, is to make sure that you don't let it get dry. It should not feel dry to you. If it feels dry to you, it's already been dry for a couple days at your core, on the inside of your hair. If it's dry on the inside, that means that breakage is on its way. Okay? So you don't want that to happen. The key is to be proactive rather than reactive. A lot of people always say, oh, my hair's so dry. I don't know why it's so dry. Well, it's probably dry because you're trying to moisturize it. If you are moisturizing it, you're trying to moisturize it after it already feels dry to you. And you know what I mean? Like not dry as in wetness, but dry as in like crunchy and brittle, right? You're trying to moisturize it after that. But that's too late. Right? I mean, you can fix that if you are consistent, but if that's the only time you're moisturizing your hair, you're never really going to see a difference. You have to do it beforehand, right? It's like you don't start eating, you shouldn't start your, eating well or eating healthy foods just, after you get sick. I mean, if you do get sick, you should, but ideally you start before then to prevent you from getting terminally sick in the first place, right? Ideally, you take on a healthy lifestyle to prevent that from happening. Not, oh, now I'm, terminally ill and now I'm going to start eating healthy. No, you do it beforehand so that that doesn't happen, right? So you're being proactive as opposed to reactive. Now, some people are reactive in those cases, and we find that they have a much tougher time kind of fixing their problem and getting back to a healthy state, right? It's the same thing with your hair. If you start eating well before you get sick, or so that you don't get sick, you usually find that you don't have that problem as much. But if you start after you're already sick, then you got to try and fix all the problems that occurred that you may have been able to prevent. So when it comes to your hair, you got to be proactive. You got to moisturize that hair every day on a consistent basis, not only when it starts to feel dry, because again, that is going to be a reactive process, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to be able to retain that moisture over time if that's the only time that you're moisturizing your hair. Doretha says, this is process work on high porosity hair and low porosity because I'm high porosity. Yes, it works on both. Of course, with high porosity, so for those of you who don't know what these two terms mean, high porosity hair is hair that is more porous. So it's higher, it has higher porosity, right? So the pores are bigger and the moisture kind of gets sucked up quicker. And so Doretha and people like her tend to have to moisturize more often because the moisture tends to kind of go away quickly. People who are low porosity have somewhat of the opposite problem, but their problem is still that their hair is dry, right? The problem with low porosity hair is that it takes a while for the hair to get moisturized in the first place. So a really good way to know which one you are is, first of all, you can take our quiz, which is on our website, which is, if you go to the website, naturalicious.net, and you click on the link at the top that says, what's my hair type? You can take a 3-question quiz and it will tell you which, if you're high porosity, low porosity, or what have you, or in the middle, or what have you. But another easy way to tell this is think about when you wash your hair in the shower. Does it take a really long time for your hair to get soaking wet, right? Like, does it take a long time for the water to really penetrate your hair, or is your hair still kind of puffy, even when you've been in the shower for a little while? If that is the case, then you are more than likely low porosity, which means that it takes more times, more moisture, more consistency of water, which is the most hydrating thing you can ever use, of hitting your hair to actually penetrate your hair. If you are high porosity, generally your hair is going to get very hydrated from the water in the shower super easy. Okay, super easy, super quick. So that's kind of a very quick way to tell which one you are. But again, take the quiz that Danita just posted and you will be able to take the quiz and you can see for sure, and it'll tell you everything you could ever possibly want to know about your hair and the porosity as well on that quiz. All right, and don't forget, go to the website to get the dope deal, which Danita has been posting while you are taking the quiz. The dope deal is that you buy anything on the website, $60 or more, you will get both free shipping and you will get a free t-shirt towel. Just give the towel a chance to load in your cart before you move on to the checkout process. It will load, just give it a second, and you will be able to get that. It's only available while I'm live. I don't want y'all to miss out. Make sure you get it while I'm live, because once I'm live, it goes away, okay? So make sure you get it while I'm live. All right. So I think I answered the question that Doretha asked, but I thought I saw another question. Let me make sure I didn't miss it. Oh, Ade said, is it necessary to dampen the hair again before the open palm method? Great question, Ade. Okay, and I hope I'm saying your name right. Let me know if I'm not, because I don't like to mess up people's names. Okay, here's what I do. For my son, I actually had, and I don't have it up here with me, it's downstairs. I have this really cool, like, mister, and I got it from Sally. It probably cost me $8 or so. It's a mister. You literally just put water in it, and I spray it. Oh, Kim, Kim, you're funny. And I spray his hair with it. The nice thing about it is that it's not like a spray bottle that you would normally think of. It doesn't like wet his hair. It just really dampens his hair nicely. Then I proceed to do the open palm method on his hair, right? So I do that all over his head afterwards. For me, his hair is actually naturally a lot drier than mine is. He has probably like 4C all the way. I have 4B around here and 4C up here. So me, and this is a great question for great topic for those of you who have combination hair. I don't have to necessarily wet this part of my hair, but I do have to wet up here, because you can even kind of see, you can see how the curl, like this part of my hair doesn't get defined as much. You can kind of see it, right? It's much more wiry up here. It's Oh, I pronounced your name right. Yay! I'm so excited. Thank you. All right, so up here is not nearly as defined as over here, right? Because this is my 4C hair. So I have to do a lot more work in this area than I do over here. Although this is like 4B, but it curls up better. This up here has always been shorter than the rest of my hair, and it's always been like harder to keep moisturized. So I have to do a lot more work up here, all right? So I have a few, you may not be able to see it in this camera, but I have a few grays up here, and I have to really work on those up in here because they be so disrespectful. They don't cooperate or obey anything I tell them to do. So I have to really, really work. Again, when you are starting to find, Erica said, I have the same issue. I never knew what was going on. Yeah, you are not alone. You are not alone. You're not alone, Erica. This is a common issue. All right, so yes, great question, a day. Sometimes you may have to mist your hair beforehand, but I don't want you to get it wet, especially with the wintertime coming. You can't be walking outside with a wet head. I don't need none of y'all getting sick and getting a cold because Gwen told you to moisturize your hair and you walked outside with a wet head, okay? So if you need to dampen your hair, get yourself one of those misters. It's super, like I said, it's super cheap and it's reusable. Use it over and over and over and over. And I just missed his hair. Now, sometimes it depends. When my hair, when we're in the change of season, so when it's going from like hot to cold or, you know, warm to cold or what have you, my hair tends to be extremely dry. This is not uncommon. It happens to a lot of people. And so at those times, I actually do mist all of my head, excuse me. And then I go ahead and do the open palm method. Okay. But do remember that the product, the step 2 has water in it. So if you have to know your hair, right? And you guys will learn your hair over time. If your hair is someone that's a type of hair that will retain a little bit more moisture, if you are being consistent with it, you will find that the water in here may be sufficient. Again, the open palm method is not a deep moisturizing process. It is literally just the ends. So over a couple of days, you're going to have to go back to that first method I talked about, which is parting your hair, you know, parting your hair, putting the product right on your roots, working your way down, all that sort of stuff. That's not necessarily going to last you, you know, 12 days or anything like that. But it will last you if you're doing the open palm method every night or every morning. You will find that, you know, you could probably get away with going maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 days without having to do the deep moisturizing process. Deidre said, Mister sounds like another product that can be added to your website. I know. I'm thinking about finding out where I can get them and putting them on the website because it's so cool. It's like this. I wish I had it up here with me. You just spray it, and you know how most spray bottles, it like comes out like a line of spray, or it kind of like goes like this. This comes out like it's like angel dust that just kind of like sprinkles the stuff on your hair. It's really cool. Erica said, I usually use the open, oh shoot. Come on, Facebook. Erica, it's not letting me see your whole comment. She said, I usually do the open palm method. You're saying I should also do a deep moisturizing. I'm assuming you're saying I should also do a deep moisturizing process. Yes, you should. But that's generally, again, it's generally only on wash day. And then also, let's say, it depends on how long your hair, if you're doing the open palm method every day, Erica, you probably may not even need to do the deep moisturizing until the next wash day. And I think you wash your hair every 7 days, right? I think. And if you're washing your hair every 7 days, then you should probably be okay. But some people here, they're not washing their hair for like 14 days. And so, you know, they gotta add some more moisture in because it's not going to stay moisturized over all that time. Also, Erica, you got to remember, you're OG, right? So you've been following me for a while. You've been putting in the work. You've been doing what you're supposed to do for a while. So your hair probably retains moisture pretty well. There are a lot of people whose hair will not retain moisture because they're just starting out and they aren't washing it on a regular basis. They're not doing the deep conditioning and the hot oil treatments and all that sort of stuff that you're doing because they're new to the game. And so for those folks, they will need to do the deep moisturizing process more often. All right. Siobhan says, when I put on my scarf at night, my hair is flat as hell in the morning. Okay, I'm sorry, that made me laugh. When you put on your scarf, what are you doing to your hair before you put your scarf on? Are you literally is your hair like this and you're just like putting your scarf on and going to bed? Or are you putting it up in some sort of ponytail and then putting on your scarf? Let me know what's going on, how you're doing that, all right? Let's see, did I miss any other questions? I thought I saw somebody earlier ask me, how often should you wash your hair? I don't know if I dreamt that or if I just thought I saw that, but if you did ask me that, I recommend washing your hair every 7 days. 7 to 10 days is usually what I say, but I would prefer if you washed your hair every 7 days. You should be going no longer than 10 days without washing your hair. Because remember, our hair grows from the scalp, right? It just like a drain, right? If the drain is clogged and you're trying to run water through it, the water can't flow through the drain like it should because it's clogged. So if your scalp is clogged from just natural things like smog and environmental things that we can't see, as well as product buildup, styling products that we're putting on our hair, any of that sort of stuff, it gets clogged in our pores of our scalp, and your hair can't thrive and grow as nicely as it should or would if your scalp is not clean. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning your hair every 7 days. I see a lot of people saying, I thought it was just my hair. No, you guys are not alone in this. This is a very common issue with the, first of all, the grays, and secondly, having multiple textures, and also having that really dryness in certain spots. My extreme dryness tends to happen up here at the top of my hair. And it's also, this part of your hair tends to be harder to get to because you can see all of this, right? It's easy to see and, you know, do whatever you want to. This part kind of sometimes gets neglected because you don't see it. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So you sometimes have to put in the work to make that happen. Doretha says that spray bottle I was talking about is called a 360 hair mister. Yeah, we gotta get those on the website because they're phenomenal. I love it. Ever since I've had it, I won't use any other sort of spray bottle. LaMonica says, I'm doing my very first twist out. How do I maintain the style daily? So my recommendation is you can do a couple things. You can retwist every night, which I don't always recommend because depending on the strength of your hair, it can actually be too much manipulation. And so it can actually cause breakage if you're constantly retwisting your hair every night. If your hair is very strong and it's retaining moisture really well, some people can get away with retwisting their hair every night. But for most people, I'm going to suggest that you twist on the first day, let it set, take it out. Second day, you can put it up into a ponytail. This is what I do. Put it up into a ponytail high on your head at night, wear a silk scarf as opposed to a bonnet because a scarf has more movement to it. The bonnet kind of like smushes your hair down. And then in the morning, take off the ponytail holder, shake your hair out really good, and then chill out. Don't try to style it. This is where a lot of people get messed up, right? So they take off the scarf, and then they immediately start trying to pick at it and all that stuff to try and get it in place. But what you're doing when you do that is that you're actually disrupting the curls that are at the ends of your hair. And that's really where the twist out, the beauty of the twist out is, right? Don't do that. Shake your hair out, proceed to wash your face, brush your teeth, you know, wash up whatever you're going to do, and let your curls form. They will eventually kind of reform themselves if you just be patient. So usually for me, I wash my face, I shake my hair out, wash my face, brush my teeth, you know, take a bath, take a shower, whatever. And then by the time I'm done, my curls have reformed. But when I first take that scarf off and I shake my hair out, I would not walk out the house like that, right? But I wait until it's done doing its thing, and then it works. So just be a little bit patient, shake it out, and wait until it forms instead of trying to immediately style it. So once you get to the point where you're getting ready to eat breakfast and, you know, after you're dressed and all that stuff, then you can start to, you know, kind of tug and pull and all that stuff, and never pull at the ends. Always kind of grab at the root and tug, because again, if you pull at those ends, you're going to disrupt the curls and you're not going to have the twist out look that you want. Okay. What else? I thought I missed. Silence says, I have to wash my hair every 3 days or I look like a wet dog, a wet sheepdog. Oh no. I think Jewel, I don't know if Jewel's still alive, but I think Jewel washes her hair every day. And that's fine. Like, you can't really wash your hair too much. That's a misnomer that you can wash your hair every day. I'm sorry, that you can wash your hair too much and it dries your hair out. That's completely false. washing your hair is great if you have time to do it every day. The problem is that a lot of people are washing their hair every day with the wrong type of product. So they're using a product that is moisture leaching, moisture sucking, like a sulfate-based shampoo. So if you're using a good product, you don't have to worry about washing your hair every day. Again, if you have the time and the will, washing your hair every day is fine. So Silence washing her every day or every 3 days is totally fine too, because I already know that she's using good products. Audrey says, if you wear protective style, how often should you moisturize it? It depends on the type of protective style that you're wearing, Audrey. If you are wearing something like braids or faux locks or any sort of product, any sort of style where there's like hair added into your hair and your hair is not out. So I'm not talking like a weave, for example. Like a weave would have, you would have the weave and then you would have like a leave out, right? Sometimes, right? It's not gonna work, right? But if you have your hair like in braids or any sort of thing where all of your hair is covered up, you can actually use our, this is my bottle, it's half gone, the Heavenly Hydration Grapeseed Hair Mist. It's a really good protective style spray because your hair is kind of not able to be moisturized because it's wrapped up in the braid or the faux lock or whatever it is that you're wearing. And so you just spray this on all over your hair and it will actually make the entire style look better. It'll give it some shine, it'll make it look really pretty, but it will actually get into your hair as well and moisturize it because it comes out like a mist. So that mist gets into your hair. Now, if you are doing something like a weave where you have like leave out, but the rest of your hair is covered up, you definitely want to make sure that you're moisturizing the leave out every day. And you should be moisturizing your hair every day, regardless of which style you're having, if you have a protective style. But especially if you have a leave out, you want to make sure you're doing that deep moisturizing process I talked about with the step 2. And then you can spray your hair with spray the rest of the hair that's covered. But you got to make sure that leave out, especially if you're flat ironing it or blow drying it every day, you got to be real careful because that hair has a tendency to end up getting damaged because you're constantly putting heat to it every day. All right. Did I answer everything? Latanica says, would it hurt to wash your hair every 4 to 5 days and deep condition every other wash? It wouldn't hurt. No, not at all. Like I said, you can wash your hair every day if you want to. Every 4 to 5 days is fine, totally fine. I recommend every 7 days, but any more frequent than that is totally fine as well. As long as you're using a good product like our step 1, you're fine. Deep conditioning every other wash is not a bad thing. My recommendation is to do it every wash, but every other wash is not bad at all. At the very minimum, you should be deep conditioning every month. At the very least, but the best thing you could do is to deep condition every time. So something in between that, like every other wash, Latanica, is totally okay. Okay. I think I got all the comments. If I missed any, somebody let me know. Hopefully I didn't miss it. Okay. So to recap this whole gray thing. All right. Remember. Oh, one more time. The dope deal of the day, before I get off, is place any order for $60 or more on the website. You will get not only a free shipping, but also a free t-shirt towel. It's only happening for the next few minutes because I'm going to be getting off really soon. So if you didn't get a chance to place your order, make sure that you go and place your order because I'm going to be getting off and that deal will be done. It won't be available. It won't work on the website. Okay? Free shipping plus a free t-shirt towel for any order over $60 while I am live tonight. All right, so I'm going to recap and then I'm going to be done. Okay, so make sure you go to naturalicious.net, get that deal while you can. LaDon says, I get such great elongated curls with step 1. Thank you. You are so welcome. No, Rachel, you didn't miss it. I'm actually going to recap in just a second. Okay, so here's the deal with the grays. We're going to recap for anybody who missed it. First of all, when you are dealing with your grays, whether you are fully gray, if you are an amazing, beautiful silver sister, or if you are just getting into the gray game like myself, where you got like some grays around here, and I used to actually pluck them out, but now I'm just like, you know what? They're coming faster than I can pluck them, so I might as well embrace them and figure out what to do with them. Here's what you do. First of all, you're going to deep condition and hot oil treat your hair once a week, or ideally every time you wash your hair. I'm saying once a week because you should be washing your hair once a week, okay? But every time you wash your hair. when you do the deep conditioning, you're not going to do what most people do, which is in our case, take step 1, which is our Moroccan Rasoul 5-in-1 clay treatment. You're not going to take that and just slather it on your hair and be done, and then put a shower cap on and sit around for an hour. You're not going to do that. You're going to actually do a true deep conditioning where you're going to take your hair, you're going to part it, just like your mom used to do when you were a little girl and you were sitting between her legs and she was greasing your scalp. And you're going to put that product right on your roots of your hair. You're going to put it on your roots and then work that product all the way down to the ends of your hair. Okay? And you're also going to, do the side too. And then you're going to take your hot oil treatment, which in our case is step 3. You're going to take that product, heat it up, put that on top of the deep conditioning product. And then you're going to move on to the next section. So you're going to part another section of your head like so, all the way down to the back, from the forehead all the way to the kitchen area. Put the product on your hair, smooth it down, work it all the way to the ends. Make sure you get those ends. You really got to get those ends. And then put the hot oil product on top of that. And then you're going to do that all over your head. All over, okay? From this side to this side. Make sure you also get those edges, because you want those edges to be nice, and that kitchen area. You really want those areas to be really, really great looking, okay? Then put a plastic shower cap on your head and hang out for about an hour. Take it off, proceed to rinse it out every time you wash your hair. At minimum, you should be doing this once a month, but if you are really trying to tame the grays, keep them from being so unruly and wiry and all that stuff, you really should be doing this every time you wash your hair. All right. I recommend doing it on a day of the week when you don't have a whole lot to do, when you've got some chill time, or you can do it at night and you can actually put the product on your hair at night, put the plastic shower cap on and go to bed. And that way you don't have to worry about sitting around. You can rinse out in the morning and go on with your day. All right. So that's the first thing. Next thing I want you to do is make sure that you are sleeping with a satin or silk scarf or bonnet. And then also a satin or silk pillowcase in case you are someone whose scarf moves around at night like myself. Because cotton and polyester fabrics are moisture leeches and they will suck the moisture out, so your edges will be exposed to that. So I want you to make sure that you're doing that because, again, gray hair tends to be so wiry and, it doesn't really cooperate all the time. And so if you don't sleep with those things on, you're going to find that it's even more wiry and uncooperative if you don't sleep with those things. All right. The third thing is that I want you to do a deep moisturizing when you do your wash day. All right. So the same process that you did where you part your hair, you put the product on the root and work it down to the edges of the ends of the hair all over your head. I want you to do that on wash day when you wash your hair. So you're going to wash your hair, do the deep conditioning process I talked about, and then use our t-shirt towel, put that on your hair. It's going to soak up about 85% of the water from your hair in about 10 minutes. Okay. So it's going to soak up the majority of your hair. It's going to, you know how normally you air dry and it takes like all day for your hair to dry? The t-shirt towel sucks it up and it clumps the curls together really nicely. And your hair is going to be about 85 to 90% dry. When your hair is still damp, that's when you're going to do the deep moisturizing process I'm talking about. Take the product, step 2 in our line, okay? And you're going to part your hair, put it on your roots, work it down to the ends, part your hair, work it down to the ends, part your hair, work it down to the ends, all over your head. And then you're going to proceed to style your hair however you want to, whether it's a braid out, a twist out, wash and go, or what have you. All right? Those are 3 things I want you to do for your hair when you are trying to manage your grays. If you do these things, and again, if you are consistent with them, that is always the key. Being consistent, you'll find that your grays are not nearly as disrespectful. They're not nearly as unmanageable, and they actually will cooperate and do what you tell them to do. So I hope that helps. I saw a couple more questions come in, and the last time I'm going to say about the dope deal is ending in just a few minutes when I get off. You get a free t-shirt towel and free shipping on any order while I'm live. All right. While I'm live on the Naturalicious website, which is naturalicious.net. That deal goes away once I get off. So make sure you go get it. This is your last chance, because once I get off, it goes away. All right. Let me make sure I saw somebody's comment and question. Rachel said, did I wash and go or twist out? Rachel, this is about a 7 or 8 day old braid out. So I actually did a braid out, which was new for me. I usually don't braid my hair because I'm actually not a good braider. I can never seem to get the ends together. But my ends have gotten to the point where they curl up really nicely. I got my hair cut and essentially trimmed several months ago. And after I did that, I was able to kind of get my ends to do what I wanted to do when I braided. So I did a braid out just as a test to see how it would come out. And I loved how it came out on day one. And I've just been putting it up in a ponytail and shaking out in the morning for about a little over a week now. So that's what I did for my hair. But normally I do wash and goes because I'm lazy, and wash and goes work really well for me. And they're fast and they're easy, but usually I do a wash and go. But the nice thing about when you train your hair and you start doing things consistently, your hair starts to cooperate. You can pretty much do any style, and it usually will predictably come out well, whether it's a braid out, twist out, wash and go, what have you. So it's just a matter of training your hair, being consistent, and being patient with your hair for you to be able to get it to do what you want to do with no matter what style, and get predictable results from it every time. I think that's the big key, is that we want to know, like, if I do a braid out, is it going to come out good? If I do a twist out, is it going to come out good? And not having to just rely on one style, but being able to run the gamut of styles without having any sort of worries. Ebony says, does the oil stay for you? It usually cools off fairly quickly for me. It does stay for me, but I actually heat up the, you know, one of those, like Pyrex, glass containers. I heat that up. I heat water up in there for about 5 minutes first. So it's like boiling hot. And then I put the oil in there, and the oil bottle usually sits in there. I let it sit in there for like 10 minutes. So it has plenty of time to heat up. So it's like the water's super boiling, and then that gets into the bottle gets super hot, and so I'm working kind of fast as I do my hair to keep it from cooling off. But I think the fact that I heat up the water for so long and it's so hot, and then the water, the bottle is in the water for so long, helps to keep it warm a little bit longer. Now it will cool off over the course of you putting it on your hair, but it still generally is pretty warm, still warm by the time I get to the end. I think that's it. I think I got everybody. So if I missed anybody's, oh, let's see. Latanica says, thanks, I've been ordering your products. Did a big chop on September 17th and just ordered. And of course, Facebook won't let me see the rest of your comment. Darn. Facebook don't want me to be great. But I'll be able to see it once I get off of here. But for some reason, it won't show me. Oh, wait. Okay, there it is. I've been using your products, did the big chop on September 17th. Congratulations. And just ordered for my mom tonight. Oh, what a great daughter you are, Latanica. You are so awesome. Your mom's going to love it. And I'm assuming you got her that t-shirt towel too. So kudos to you. So thank you guys. Last chance to get that deal. I'm about to go. So if you didn't get it, make sure you run and get it right now, because I'm about to get off of here and it's going to go away. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below, and I got you. I will make sure I try to get to everybody's comment afterwards. If you missed the deal, I'm sorry. Make sure that you're live next time. Hey, what's up to all my replayers? Talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.